Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar, and thank you for your participation and interest. Today, we are going to present you those new functionalities of the Erasmus Plus app that are important and useful for higher education institutions to interact with the app and publish institution-specific information for the students, for the users of the app. My name is Judith Hermandy-Berends. I am the coordinator of the enhancement of the Erasmus Plus app project, representing Ötös Loránd University from Hungary. The aim of this project is to, sorry, I'm trying to move the slides. Yep, a bit too much, a bit too less. Now, yes, perfect. The aim of our project is to provide a single point of entry to the Erasmus Plus program for those users, mainly higher education students, but other learners as well, who wish to gain experience and implement mobility in the frame of the Erasmus Plus program. The project is being implemented by a consortium of 3 partner institutions. Ötös Loránd University, as the consortium leader, is closely working together with the European University Foundation, as well as the Erasmus Student Network. In order to bring in the expertise of the IT development of the app, we are working together with 2 subcontractors, namely eWorks and the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. And now let me share some practical information with you regarding our webinar. According to the registration, more than 1,600 participants are following our webinar today. Some of them, 500 of them, are joining us through Zoom. And for the other participants, it is possible to follow the event via YouTube streaming. The event is recorded and it will be uploaded soon on the YouTube channel of the European University Foundation. For those participants who are joining us through Zoom, we kindly ask you to use the Zoom chat only for raising and signaling technical matters for the organizers. For those questions that are actually related to the content of the webinar, we kindly ask you to visit slido.com and use the code EGD_app after the hashtag to be able to drop in your questions. At the end of the presentations, at the end of the webinar, we are going to hold a Q&A session, and we kindly ask you to help us in clustering the questions that are going to be answered by specifying the topic of your questions, whether they are related to policy, context, or the actual new features of the app. We also encourage you to upvote the questions, since at the end of the webinar, during the Q&A session, we only have time to answer the most upvoted questions by our panelists. And last but not least, I would kindly ask you to use the hashtag #ErasmusGoesDigital and the hashtag Erasmus App if you wish to post on social media about this webinar. In order to give you a context of today's program, let me give a brief about the agenda. The opening presentation will be delivered by the representative of the Directorate General for Education and Culture of the European Commission. And after the opening presentation, we are going to show you those functionalities that provide points of interaction for higher education institutions to communicate with their students through the app. We will also learn about how the app shares status updates and notifications from interlinked services, such as the online learning agreement system. And at that point, we are going to change a bit the angle of the webinar from the higher education perspective to the student perspective, and show you what students think about the new features of the app, as well as how the app can be most effectively promoted to the users. And as I have mentioned, we are going to have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So as you can see, we have quite a busy agenda for today. So not to waste any more time, I would like to invite our first speaker, Ms. Oana Dumitrescu, Policy Officer at the Directorate General for Education and Culture from the European Commission, to hold her presentation. Oana, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Judith. Thank you very much to everybody watching for being here with us in such large numbers. My name is Oana Dumitrescu. I work in the Director General for Education, Youth, Sport and Culture in the Higher Education Unit, where we deal more generally with higher education policy, but also the implementation of the Erasmus Plus program in the field of higher education. And today my role will be to give you more the policy vision of the idea behind the Erasmus Plus app and how we see the role of this app in managing student mobility. So the whole idea behind the Erasmus Plus app and European Student Card initiative is really deeply rooted in this policy vision that we have in the European Commission, which is the European Education Area by 2025. The idea is that the member states, together with European Commission, with European Parliament, have agreed on developing such an education area by 2025, where there will be more cooperation between higher education institutions and educational actors in order to achieve high quality and inclusive education and educational systems. We really do not want to see any barriers to mobility and cooperation within the European Union. And for this reason, we're stimulating, for instance, initiatives such as the automatic mutual recognition of diplomas on the one hand, and on the other hand, on mobility periods abroad. The European education area should also be a space where European citizens can speak at least two other languages apart from their mother tongue, and where as much as possible we can stimulate this European identity. And in the scope of our project today, the European student identity. As you may already know, the future Erasmus Plus actually it's the current Erasmus Plus program, so the Erasmus Plus program 2021-2027 is an instrument in achieving these objectives, these very, very important policy objectives. And some of the priorities in achieving the program are making a more inclusive, a more digital, and a greener Erasmus Plus in the future, and including more numbers, but also more target groups of people within the Erasmus Plus program. So digitalization is actually a cornerstone in achieving these. Can you confirm that you still hear me okay? I think my laptop is doing something funny. Okay, great. Sorry for that. So the idea is that the digital Erasmus Plus is supporting the objectives of the European education area, but also the objectives of the framework that is called the Digital Education Action Plan, which aims to, on the one hand, create more digital infrastructure for education in the European Union, and on the other hand, solidify the digital competences of European citizens. So this is how the European Student Card Initiative and the Erasmus Plus, the future Erasmus Plus, is focusing on developing digital skills of students and staff. We're also looking at increasing flexible mobility formats within this program, for instance, through mobility formats such as the blended mobility, which combines a physical mobility component with a virtual mobility component, either in short or long-term format, or through the blended intensive programs format. The idea behind this is to be more inclusive to different types of educational actors, but also to and students and staff, but also to foster more innovation in higher education, also in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic. We're of course going to support as well through Erasmus Plus projects that focus on digitalization, as well as continuing to support digital opportunities traineeships. The European University will be a cornerstone in supporting digitalization through the common formation of virtual campuses across the universities that make up each alliance, and through actually being pioneers in developing European Student Card Initiative and all of these initiatives that are at the core of the European education area. And last but not least, we have the topic of our today's webinar, the European Student Card Initiative and the Erasmus Plus app. So, to very much simplify the European Student Card Initiative, there are kind of three elements to this initiative. The first one is the one that we're discussing today, the Erasmus Plus app as the one-stop shop for students. So the idea is that this is the single entry point for students to be able to access information and services within their mobility. So on the one hand, this is one of the main components of the initiative. Another important component of the European Student Card Initiative is the rollout of the European Student Card and the European Student Online Identifier. By adding a hologram to existing European um, student cards in Europe, we are making essentially this, we are creating this European student identity, and which will allow as well students to seamlessly access information and services when they are abroad through their university's student card. And also, the other aim is to facilitate smooth cooperation and enable higher levels of student mobility through the Erasmus without paper. So this is through the simplification of administrative procedure and making it significantly easier for higher education institutions to manage mobility digitally through connecting through the Erasmus without paper network. So the first advantage when it comes to mobility coordinators in higher education institutions comes from kind of connecting to the Erasmus without paper. The idea behind it is to manage the whole lifespan of a student mobility before, during, and after in an electronic format. So actually being able to access the applications and nominations through a digital format. This will also enhance the GDPR compliance through secure data exchanges. And it will, of course, link to the Erasmus Plus app through sending notification to the students via the app, and exporting data to the beneficiary module, or what we call the former Mobility Tool Plus. So it is foreseen that through the Erasmus without paper network, you'll be able to manage your interinstitutional agreements, online learning agreements, nominations, and transcripts of records in a seamless way. When it comes to the single entry point and advantages for students, this is where the app comes in. The app, in fact, was created as part of the 30 years of Erasmus campaign. So it already existed, but now it's significantly being boosted and developed into a much, much better and much more complete, let's say, product, by first of all offering inline information and services for mobile students before, during, and after their mobility, offering them the ability to look for the courses that they want, the kind of partnerships that they want, and what they could actually access, what they have access to in terms of the partnerships that universities offer. They are able to manage their online learning agreements and documentation on the app, but also to connect with other students, with alumni, with student organizations, and other actors, such as, for instance, Erasmus Plus buddies via the app. Last but not least, the app also offers the amazing feature, which my colleagues will talk to you more about, of presenting a virtual European student card on the mobile device. So there's really quite a few highlights for students as compared to the previous app, through an improved user experience, a detailed step-by-step checklist with additional information and guidance, really peer support mechanisms, as we said before, through the ability of offering tips, meeting a buddy, and so on, and even an interactive map to find relevant services and events at the host institution. So the Erasmus Plus app is foreseen to be released in two main release periods. So the first release happened in January, actually. So the app is already there, and offers a lot of information on Erasmus Plus, a lot of information on events going on at the moment in different local contexts. But at the same time, the reason why we really need you to promote this app at the moment and invite your students to download it is so that they can populate it with their own information, to add their stories about their experiences with Erasmus Plus, tips about their experience abroad, deals, and so on and so forth. The second release, however, is expected to be done in September 2021. And here we have a lot of very exciting features that my colleagues will present to you in more detail on the ability to manage the administrative procedures to the Erasmus Plus app, the full connection with the Erasmus Without Paper network, as I was explaining it before, the feature of showing a virtual European student card on your app, and so on and so forth. We have foreseen this for September 2021 so that it corresponds with the start of the new academic year. So here is, in a nutshell, kind of the place of the Erasmus Plus app in our policy vision, and what are our expectations, and what we plan to bring forward with this app. I really hope that you will see this as a very useful tool for yourselves, and that you are gonna promote it further to your colleagues and to your students. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm now gonna give the floor back to Judith.
Thank you very much, Anna, for this interesting and informative presentation. It is always very good to gain insight into the broader context in order to understand how exactly the app fits into the digital ecosystem of the Erasmus Plus program. And now let us introduce the first new functionality of the app that helps higher education institutions to communicate with the students through the app. So I would like to invite my colleague, Ms. Julia Deli, International Coordinator at Eötvös Loránd University, to show us how you can show and publish events and deals in the public feed of the app. Julia, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. So yes, I'm Julia, and I work as an international coordinator at Alta University, and one of my responsibilities is to coordinate the promotion of the Erasmus program at the university itself. And I can tell you that I'm very, very glad to have the opportunity to be among the first testers of the new features of the Erasmus application. So now the application is enriched by a new function, which is publishing Erasmus events and deals in the feed of the application. And this is the function that I'm going to present you now. So first of all, let's talk about the importance of this feature. Well, as a university mobility coordinator myself, I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we manage a myriad of platforms to reach out to our students, and this is oftentimes quite challenging. And the students also have to cope with all these platforms and the sometimes contradicting information, so to say. Using the Erasmus app makes the communication with the higher education institutions easier and more streamlined by being the primary source of reliable information, and thus providing first-hand information to students. By using the app, we can also manage the information overload on social media and also complement our offline promotion of the Erasmus program. Now let's take a look what this feature is exactly and how does it look like in the Erasmus app for the students. So this new feature makes it possible to the international relation offices to publish their events and deals to the students at the institutional level in the application public feed. So when a student has to first of all register to the platform and then create a profile, and when they log in to their profile, they can see a public feed, which is quite similar to the one that Facebook has. And in this feed, they can see the events and the deals that are published by their home and host university. It depends on where they are located, because these are geotagged, and also depends on what did they filter on, the home university or the host university. In the feed, they can also see who published the certain event or the deal, when exactly, And by clicking on the event card, so to say, they can see more information here. This is how it looks like. They can scroll down for more. And by clicking on the links that it's embedded in the publication, they can be directed to any other platform to have even more information about the certain event or the deal. And if they find it interesting, or they want to save it to find it easier later, they can like the certain event or the deal by clicking at this heart icon that you can see on the slide. And the deal will be, or the event will be listed in their personal liked items. Yes, just how it looks now here. Okay, now let's see how to publish an event in theory, and then I will also put it into practice later. So the Erasmus application is connected to and communicating with the Erasmus dashboard, which functions as the point of entry of our injected information. Therefore, to publish anything, in this case, it will be an event. First of all, we have to log in to the Erasmus dashboard. And or those who have not yet registered, they can easily do it on the website. So first register and then log in. And then we have to click on the Create a New Event tab on the left menu bar. Then this is what we will see. And here we have to add the relevant information of the event or the deal. In this case, is an event, which is title, summary, a short summary, and the description. And then we can put the location of the event, the date, and also the target group. So which students we are targeting, and or what kind of mobility students we are targeting, and in which stage of the mobility journey they are. Then we also have these tags. We should select the one that is the most appropriate. And then we can also add a website link and an image. And then to submit, we have to click on the Submit and Publish on the Erasmus App tab. And then it will be immediately published in the application. This is how it looks like. So this will be seen by those students who indicated, in this case, ELTE University as the home institution. Okay, so again, the most important steps are login, or before register and then login, and then click on Create a New Event, add the data and the information of the event, submit and publish, and if we want, we can check it in the app. Now I invite everyone to see a live demo, and I will give the control back to Daiga to be able to share my screen. Okay. There is something popped up to me. Who can share? Who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? So it doesn't allow me now to share. I don't know if we can fix that. I clicked on in both questions all panelists, but I can't share my screen. Okay. Daiga, do you know how you can fix this?
I'm looking it in a second.
Okay.
Just a moment.
Okay, so basically what I'm doing, what I will do now is that I already prepared some information in the dashboard about an event that will be soon organized by ELTE. It will be an information session for outgoing students about housing and administrative matters. And I will show you how it looks when I will be able to share my screen, how it looks in the dashboard, and then we will see how it looks like in the Erasmus application.
Can you please try sharing now?
Yes, and I can. Good. So now I share my screen. I hope you can see my dashboard. So I already logged into my dashboard. Then I clicked on the Create a New Event tab here on the left side. And then, as I said, to be quicker, I already injected every information. So the title, and then a short summary, and then a description. For the text, I advise you to put short and concise text, and if it's possible, if you want, you can also put a website link, as I also did in the text, so you can direct your students to another platform. Now you can also add the location. I didn't indicate here because it will be online. It's not relevant at this time. And then you can give the date. It will be a longer period, so I put a longer period. Then we have this for whom tab here, and here we can target the group that we want to speak to. So the higher education study mobility or traineeship mobility and Erasmus Mundus. Now I will select study mobility, and we can select the mobility phase. This will be before the application. So certainly now that I put the study mobility and the before the application, this event will show up for those students that added ELTE as a home institution, and they are preparing for their study mobility, and they are in the before the application mobility phase. Now we have these tags here. We should select the most appropriate one, since it will be an information sessions. I will click on and select the information sessions. Now I decided to not put here more websites, since I already put here 2 links in the description. And we can also put an image. Now I decided to not. I click on the submit and publish button, and let's see if it's in the Erasmus application. Yes, it's here. You can see information sessions for outgoing students. Okay, now I go back to my presentation, and I will summarize what we learned from this feature. Okay, we will see it. Okay, thank you. So to summarize the importance of the first feature, then we can say that it's an easy and quick and effective way of communicating with our students, and to promote easy, quick, and effective, yes, way of communicating with our students, and to promote Erasmus events and deals on an institutional level. And we really encourage you to try it today, or when you have a relevant event, and publish something to your students in the application feed. Thank you for your attention. And should you have any questions, please use the Slido, or you can also check out the EUF Competence Center, where you can see relevant and related articles about all these features. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jurci, and thanks for really showcasing us how this feature is working in live operation. And I can confirm that since I set ELTE as my home university in my profile setting, I can see this invitation for this event in my public feed. So all you need to do to check out this feature is to set ELTE in your profile settings as a home. Okay, let's move on with the new features. And now I would like to ask Ms. Nora Gal, Head of the International Office at the Faculty of Education and Psychology of ELTA, to show us how to enrich mobility journey pages with institutional specific content. Nora, the floor is yours.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute myself. So, well, my name is Nora Gal. I'm the head of the international office at the Faculty of Education and Psychology at Eötvös Loránd University. And I try to go back to the beginning of my presentation. Okay. Okay. Sorry for this technical problems. So our faculty has approximately 80, 90 incoming and outgoing Erasmus students, and altogether approximately 500 international students. So I think it's very important to have this app and this option to work with these students. And I'd like to introduce this new feature that supports international offices to add institution-specific information to the static mobility journey pages. Why is it important? Because all higher education institution is different. We have different procedures, we have different requirements. So it's very important for effective mobility management and communication to have this function. And the app covers the entire mobility journey of the student, but now, or until now, we only had general information that was discussed by the European Commission, student representatives, and higher education institution representatives. So what is this new feature? This new feature supports to embed institution-specific information to the mobility journey pages and how it looks like. After the students log in to this web page or to the app, they can indicate their home and their host university, and then they can see institution-specific information. For example, if you click on during application and you go to get your online learning agreement signed, then you can see a general information that is static. And then if you scroll down, you can also see the institution-specific information. Here you can see special requirements, and then they can see something that is only for students of Eötvös Loránd Tudományegyetem or Eötvös Loránd University, and it's not available for other universities students. And how you can do that? Certainly you have to log into the dashboard, or if you haven't registered, you have to register. And then you have to click on useful info here, and you can see a drop-down menu, and you have to choose a category. You have to choose from these options, and you can only edit these journey phases or pages. And the options names are very informative. You can choose your target group, if it's a student or trainee or an Erasmus Mundus participant, if it's an outgoing or incoming student. And you can also choose a topic, just like application or learning agreement and so on. And you can also choose the phase, before application, during mobility, or before you go. And then you will see this, this page, and you can add your specific information, just like title and more information and a website. I suggest to add just a short and concise text, because it will be in an app, and it looks better if it's just a short version. And on your website, you can add a much longer description. And these two elements, the app and your website, can be very good complementary elements of information source. Then you have to submit and publish this text and this post in the Erasmus app. When you publish it, all of your students will see it, and that's how it looks like. So it's a very simple procedure. It's really very easy to add this information, just 5 easy steps. Log in, add the information, choose the click on the add information category, and then the category. You have to write something there and publish. And now I will show you how you can do that. So here you can see this page. I went to Erasmus Plus app useful info, and then here is what you can see everywhere. Then I added a title, special requirements, then a short text, and I added a website. It's at the Erasmus Before Mobility website, and there you can see everything. And then I click on Submit and Publish on the Erasmus App button. And here you can see under During Application and Get Your Online Agreement Signed page. You can see these special requirements, and you can read it here. So I'm going back to my presentation again. And yes, it's so the conclusions that it's a really important function, because you can customize the mobility journey, and yes, hopefully I can go further. Yes, it's very easy to use. As you could see, it's just 5 easy steps, and it's just really a very small time investment to post something, and I think it's really, in the long term, it's really rewarding. One thing I also have to mention, that you must have some kind of coordination between faculties, because the information will be university-wide, so it's essential. And I also recommend to try it. Thank you for your attention, and if you have questions, you can ask it and use Slido to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nora, for showing us how easily actually iVeris can publish and share information, institution-specific relevant information just in the right pages of the app. And I also encourage you to try these new features, and also encourage your students to download the app and register to be able to enjoy the full scope of the features that the app provides. Now I would like to give the floor to my colleague, Ms. Taiga Kuzmane from the European University Foundation to show us how the app can share status updates and notifications from the interlink services. Taiga, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for that. And hello, everyone. And pleasure to welcome you here also from my side. And it's really great to see you in such high numbers here. So my name is Daiga from the EU app, and the functionality that I wanted to introduce is indeed the notifications. That is another way of how institutions can actually reach out to the students. As such notifications the students can receive in their feed, as you previously saw in the presentations before, there is this public feed that is rather similar to the social media that students are already used to. And these notifications would be prominently visible there, or also even more prominently as push notifications. And just go to the next slide. Yes. Sorry. To actually explain the functionality better, I will start with the fact that Erasmus Plus app serves as a single point of entry in the program. So the services that are interlinked with the app can share the status updates through the app itself. And students can already indeed receive such notifications from the online learning agreement. And that means that they are directly informed that, for example, online learning agreement has been fulfilled for them by the home higher education institution, and it's a call for action from their side to do the next steps. So basically what it means is that it does not require an extra steps from the institution side, but what it means is that you can inform the students that Erasmus Plus app can be of help in keeping tabs of all these necessary procedures that need to take place to go on Erasmus successfully. So this is exactly the type of things that we learned from the focus groups and from the users' feedback till now. And it was also confirmed during the launch conference when also a lot of institutions were in participation, and we heard it also from them that the key points of guidance that both the institutions and the students would really appreciate and would wish from the app is really help with these administrative procedures. And this is exactly the goal of this functionality, that and much like also for this augmentation of the mobility journey, that basically it ensures the transparency and higher education institution specific information and allows to basically facilitate the process in this way. And what we also want to highlight is that the student is very much in control in this situation, and they are the ones who can choose of what kind of notifications they want to receive. And it's easily done by the profile settings that they have in their account, and they can simply choose which of the notification services they would be interested in hearing from more, and which might actually not be of relevance to them. And more services that would be sharing the notifications to the app are already on the way. And one of such sources could be the notifications from the European Commission itself. And for example, on important opportunities for the students or the issues that they might be facing and kind of offering them the hand in these very, very challenging times. But more on these novelties and what exactly the app can offer and what is in the pipeline, you can learn in one place that I think many of you know very, very well, and that is the Erasmus App Paper Competence Center. And this is what we also wanted to highlight, that the tutorials and guidance material of how to use these new functionalities is already being added there. So you can go to the Competence Center and navigate to the section that is about the Erasmus Plus app. And you can find them already there. Basically, the international relations officers and the app. There'll be quite some articles there. You can also easily find this section from the comment, the description box in the YouTube. So if you're using the YouTube streaming, you can see in the description the direct link there. And basically, we try to illustrate the functionalities in as much detail as possible. And we also paid special attention to the visibility in the app, because of course we also understand that it's of utmost importance for you to understand and anticipate of how exactly it will be used from the student side and what to expect. I mean, will it be my students that are going abroad for traineeships or for studies that will see it? Or Is it my incomings or other the outgoings that would be able to see this information? So this is really the extra steps that we try to take, and to ensure that basically you can use the full potential of these novelties. Of course, also in the Erasmus dashboard, you can see the submitted content, and the more options for removing it and also editing will be something that will be added shortly. So the dashboard itself would offer the insight of the summary of basically the data that is injected from your institution. But I mean, of course, it's always insightful to see what students see. So we hope that it will be of help for you to go through those tutorials and guidance material. And what I also want to highlight is that as there's so many of you today, and there'll be, as I see in the slide, there are already quite some questions. We will, of course, try to tackle the most burning ones, but I also want to assure you that the questions that are submitted there will inform the further articles that are being created in the Competence Center. So we'll do our best to further tackle it there via new articles, via the FAQs and other types of communication. And of course, please also don't forget that there'll be 2 more webinars in this Erasmus Goes Digital cycle this spring. So I think that a couple of questions might also be addressed in more in-depth there. But with that, I'll actually say thank you for your attention and give the floor to the next speaker.
Yeah, thank you very much, Daiga. And also thank you for raising attention really that very useful information are already there in the Competence Center. So if you have, if you would like to see these features in more details, then please visit the Competence Center, and there you will find useful information. Okay, and now let's turn the angle from the higher education perspective to the students' perspective. And from our next speaker, Mr. Wim Gabriels from the Erasmus Student Network, we will learn about what students think about the importance of the Erasmus app and how higher education institutions can most effectively convey their messages to the students by using the app. Wim, please, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Judith, for the introduction. So my name is Wim Gabriels. I work for the Erasmus Student Network, and I'm here to present you a little bit more about students' perspective, why the Erasmus Plus app is important for them, and indeed how we can better promote the Erasmus Plus app to students. From that point of view, I think I don't need to convince anyone that is present here of the benefits of the Erasmus Plus experience. But that being said, digitalization of the Erasmus Plus processes are a way to lower thresholds for students to participate. So allowing more people to participate in the Erasmus Plus program is a priority, and that's why where the digitalization of the processes come in, making the Erasmus Plus program more inclusive to make sure that more people can participate. And when we look at this, we still see that the information that is provided is not always sufficient for people to participate or to be convinced or to cross all the barriers that they might experience. So we still see, when we ask non-mobile students which information they would find encouraging to them to go on exchange, we see that information on mobility types, hearing from other students, information on the impact of mobility is still very important and very missed, which is of course one of the functions that the app will be able to offer students going forward. Then we also noticed that when offering specific information or specific support, students indicate that they would like more information about funding, for example, or support with the application process, or help choosing their host university. Also elements that are being tackled in the Erasmus Plus app. Next to that, we still see that students struggle or raise concerns related to the amount of paperwork needed for mobility, their impact on academic achievement, their cost of living or funding their exchange, and the practical information about accommodation, travel, healthcare, especially in times of Corona. So in that sense, augmenting the mobility journey and allowing a university to integrate more information inside the Erasmus Plus app will tackle all of these concerns students still have, and making the mobility experience more personalized, allowing for students to really get the personalized journey and support. So when it comes to this, I think it's really important that we keep this type of things in mind inside the augmentation process that was presented by my colleagues. I would just suggest that we start with the principle of equal access, so making sure students have access to information that is unified, and the application procedures are as unified as possible. Try to signpost services and contact points in the Erasmus Plus app in order to make sure students know who to contact and where to go, and make sure that the services that are accessible to your local students can also be accessed by the international students. I would suggest to try to keep it as simple and clear as possible and focus on your specific university's information, allowing the app and the tips and tricks to do the rest of the work to inform a student's participation. And I would also indeed suggest to see how it interacts with other information in the mobility journey step, and engage your students in actually making sure that the information you're providing is what they are missing. So you can always have a conversation with a couple of students to try to understand if the information you're providing and the information you're implementing in the app is what they would need. These are things that I would suggest to keep in mind. And when it comes then to the promotion material, we have created the promo toolkit that can be accessed on the presentation website and the Knowledge Center. You will find here a social media pack that has 20 visuals for social media use in different shapes for Facebook and Instagram, Twitter or LinkedIn, or even for Facebook and Instagram stories. We ask you to always use the Erasmus Plus app tagline, your Erasmus Plus in one app, and if possible, use the hashtag Erasmus app, or tag the European Commission when you do so. And there's 10 different key messages that highlight certain feelings or info related to the Erasmus Plus mobility experience, as well as the features that are connected inside the Erasmus Plus app. Next to that, we have a printing package where you will see roll-ups, posters, and flyers. Currently, this is only available in English. Translations are foreseen by September 2021, when also the app will be translated and available in more languages. We suggest to check regularly for more materials, as they will be added as we move forward. And I can just say that you can find this information on hello.erasmusapp.eu, which is our presentation website and which is live now. And then I think I come to the end of my intervention.
All in all, we would like to thank you for your attention and participation for today, and for your valuable questions that you dropped in Slido. These are new functions, and we need your feedback on these new functions so that we can further improve and further move on with the improvement of the app. A bit linking back to the Q&A session, there was one question popping up quite regularly about how to reach these new functions within the Erasmus dashboard. I would recommend you visit the Competence Center of the EUF in order to find a detailed description of how in the account management part of the dashboard you can handle that problem. But also other useful information and guidance on the new features is found there. as well as Daiga mentioned and as Wim mentioned, we are working on creating new content and upload it as soon as it is ready. We are also would like to get your feedback in the form of feedback forms, so that we can work on with that as well. So soon there will be a feedback form sent to you by email. And let me please give you a small reminder on the upcoming webinars of the Erasmus Goes Digital webinar series in May. In the mid of May, you can learn more on the European Student Card Initiative rollout and upcoming steps on the second webinar of this series. The registration is already open, so we encourage you to register and join us during that webinar too. And also about the interinstitutional agreements and all the latest updates, there will be a webinar at the end of May. Soon the registration will open for that as well. So stay tuned. See you soon. And thank you very much again for your participation and interest, and have a very nice rest of the day for all of you. Goodbye.